In another ExploreVM Podcast short, I speak with Matt Elliot about his first time at VMworld and what it's like to attend VMworld as a network expert in a virtualization conference. We are back here live at VMworld 2018. I've got another guest to chat about the conference. Matt, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, my name is Matt Elliot. I am at Network Brouhaha on the Twitters. This is my first time at VMworld and just kind of taking it all in. As a network guy in a virtualization spot, I'm a little bit of a fish out of water, but
excellent. Well, I've never actually had a first-time VMworld attendee on the podcast before. So, what are your first impressions?
It is a little overwhelming, obviously, especially for a first-timer. So I've been to Cisco Live a few times, and so I keep comparing the two events in my own mind. And so There's a ton of overlap. There's a lot of unique parts about VMworld as well that I've been enjoying. Just the VM Village is really cool.
Yeah,
love hanging out here.
So what did you think of the announcements made so far by VMware?
You know, as expected, some really great stuff. I found some stuff that came out of left field. The ESXi on ARM, I just didn't see that coming. You know, the additional interfaces with AWS with RDS, I thought was fascinating. Fascinating announcement, and the Edge announcement I find very cool because I have to work in that space a little bit as a service provider and vCloud director and the way I'm still digesting it, but I thought that was a really interesting announcement. So,
excellent. So going through the vendor village and everything, has any vendor in particular jumped out at you? Are you seeing any really cool products, or what are your thoughts?
I've been somewhat fascinated with Rubrik. I went through the Rubrik Essentials training a while back, and it's a product that we're considering selling, and I had the opportunity to just look at it a little bit, and interacting with those folks and seeing how their solution works has been pretty impressive. You know, as a network guy, to be able to understand how that, I can grasp it very easily. I ran backups years ago, and it was super painful. And that product seems really solid and really sort of a game changer. I kind of look at them as sort of like the Nutanix of backups, or Palo Alto maybe from my world. They've just changed the way that whole space is approached, which I like. I think that's cool.
So, with this being the first VMworld, have you gone out to any of the big events, the vendor events, the parties?
Yep. I went to the Rubrik party and saw the Roots and Run DMC, and it was awesome. I love the Roots. I had a great time. I got a drumstick from Questlove, so that made my night, probably made my week. So that was pretty cool. Didn't make it out to any last night, just kind of, laid low. I'm sure tonight we'll go out and do some fun stuff. So the party game at VMworld is top notch. I mean, I personally have always approached conferences as like a learning first opportunity. Parties are great, but I go to meet people, learn new things, and so the party is the icing on the cake, but the parties I've been to have been super fun. And getting to meet a lot of cool people like you and other folks that I've never met before. So.
Right, yeah, the networking aspect of VMworld, they've actually on the big screen, they've been scrolling through, there's tweets, and so we are recording in the, what do they call this, the hang space solution, not the solutions exchange, but the
VM
hang
Village,
space, the VM Village, there it is. And they've got huge screens, and they've been rolling through like people's tweets and photos and videos. But then there's a poll that keeps coming up, and I don't know where they're collecting this data. But if you look at the poll, there are 4 choices of answers. It's like, what do you like most about VMworld? It's sessions, vendors, parties, and networking. Mm-hmm. Have you seen this?
I did, and of course, I saw networking, and I was like, oh, they're talking about NSX.
Networking,
and I was like, no, they're talking about meeting people. So it's like, I'm like, why is networking so popular at the VMware conference? Yes.
And so last I saw, networking was at 88% of people's favorites, with everything else at 4%.
When I saw it was at 90. So yeah.
So it might have gone up or down since. Clearly, networking is a big, big part of VMworld. So So this is Wednesday afternoon. The finish line is in sight with VMworld. Any sessions coming up that you're looking forward to? Any of the tech talks at any of the miscellaneous booths? Any big plans to round out the conference?
Today was really my day that I overloaded with sessions. I don't know why I chose today. It just happened to be that way, where a lot of the NSXT and VMware Cloud on AWS sessions that I'm personally interested in are today. So, after this, I've got a quick meeting, and then I think I go back and do another VMware Cloud session. And then there was just like a Meet the Experts panel that's discussing cloud that I'm going to try to make it to as well, that had some interesting folks on the panel. I haven't been able to make it to any of those panels yet, but I've heard that's some great content there, so I'm looking forward to that as well. Hey, this is Matt Elliot. I'm at Network Brouhaha on the Twitter. My background is a network engineer, and I'm a CCIE. A lot of my day-to-day work involves, on-prem connectivity, SDN, connectivity to clouds, networking once you're in the cloud. So that's a big reason why I'm here at VMworld, is to wrap my head more around those topics and really try to digest the change that's going on from NSXV to NSXT, how that integrates into things like VMware Cloud on AWS, and taking those solutions and making them play nicely, automating them, providing connectivity back to workloads on-prem, and of course containerization in Kubernetes and how that networking plays together. Since that's such a new area that is still being figured out right now. So I've at this point been in several sessions, and I have not had the opportunity to work a lot with NSXT, whereas V have got a ton of experience. And my impressions from those sessions is that I can't wait to actually deploy NSXT. There's clearly very many similarities between NSXV and T, but they have done an excellent job of maturing the product, changing it enough to make it a little bit different, but the changes they've made have been for the right reasons. There's legitimate technical reasons behind the architectures and the encapsulation changes and all these little nitpicky details that I worry about. I was able to digest those and wrap my head around it and say, I see why this is the way it is now. I am a little sad that we have to have this transition from V to T. I think it's going to be painful for some people. I wish that out of the gate, when VMware said, here's NSX, that it had just been T to begin with. What can we do, right? What else can we do? We're stuck in this boat together, and we're going to, we're all going to have to make this transition. But it's going to be the pain that comes out of that change, I think, is going to be worthwhile in the long run. I've struggled over whether I should recommend new NSXV installations to customers, because not long from now that product's going to retire and T's going to be the only one. And T's still not compatible with everything yet, so we're still in this larger transition phase anyways. But it's exciting for me to see how the product is maturing, where it's going, the design decisions behind it, and just seeing all these smart people that are directly influencing the product and hearing from them is really energizing for me, and I'm excited to see where the product's going to go.
Excellent. So, and one final question here. As a first-time VMworld attendee and a networking guy, will you be back to VMworld in the future?
I hope so. I was lucky enough to get a scholarship from VMworld to make it to this, because they're trying to bring in some network folks, and I was lucky enough to give them the answers that they wanted to on the little questionnaire I filled out. So I really lucked into this one, but I think I have my experience here. I think I can go back and justify being able to, to an employer, to be able to fund a trip back here, because I've already learned so many things or sat in sessions that are so applicable to my day-to-day work and the things our customers are asking us for. So right. I hope so.
Excellent. Well, I hope to see you here again in the future, and I want to thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate the time, and next year I'll bring more blockchains. So.
Excellent. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you for listening. Do you have an idea or topic for the show? Would you like to be a guest on the ExploreVM podcast? Or would you just like to keep up the conversation about VMworld 2018? If so, contact me on Twitter at ExploreVM, email me, paul@explorevm.com, or facebook.com/ExploreVM. And once again, thank you for listening.